All right, let's pick some people. Thank you for your comments. It was very nice to have some things to mull over. And I think I'm going to go with a diversified crew. I think it was Proofrock who recommended don't swing your team heavy one way or the other, but try and make sure everyone has a good spread. And for Pamela, I agree. Let's do it. Let's do Doggo. 2 reasons. And somebody, who was this who said it? Maybe it was Pavel. Somebody said, then Doggo is nice because not only is he a baller fighter, he can't go insane. And I think that's going to be important. So we're going to put Doggo in for sure, guys. We're going to do it. We're going to keep him alive. All right, Doggo is in. And high votes for my Lady Mary here. Book learning, right? We got to figure out how to defeat these monsters. And if it is a true to Cthulhu, we're going to need probably to discover something. And she has this incredible bookworm ability, so there are lots of votes for Lady Mary. Also, in true Cthulhu fashion, there will be fighting. So Peter Mountain Man, also lots of votes for him. And I think it was Pavel who said, if we run 3 characters, we get a time bonus. So instead of getting 30 units of time to complete our run, we're going to be given 35, and that's pretty huge. In this game, time units are so precious. Having 5 extra would be a big deal. Stas, I think, commented that Rado has a variant up if you want to run 2 characters and a dog. He has a variant for this. I don't know what it does, but if you're interested in that, you can do it too. But because we're running the dog, I don't know if we just want to do 3. I think I'm going to run 4. And this is where the real question came in. You know, what are we missing? We have lots of fight between the dog. I feel like Doggo is Mountain's dog. You know, I'm gonna put them together. So we got our fighting team, we got our nerd girl, and she also has pretty good willpower. So what we're missing here is this instinct icon. Nobody has any of this. So Ray's got it. And he'll stay sane. He'll stay sane, right? He's really strong on sanity and pretty strong on instinct. Then there's Renee. He's pretty good across the board, but lucky. So if he whiffs it, he gets a reroll. And this is on every test, like anytime, these lucky Frenchmen. So, that's kind of great. And of course, the mechanic where his ability in and of itself is, he is the highest out there for instinct. And if he lock picks, he's going to be rolling 6 dice, which is like pretty much an instant success. So the one characteristic I'm on the fence about is the one characteristic that everyone seems to have. But Van Chaser said, luck is important. And you know what? I am going to put my faith in you guys. So let's take the shifty Frenchman. Let's take the lucky Renee, the handyman. And let's hope that even though he's not super strong in anything, his luck ability is going to be the thing that gets him through. Let's put our money on Lady Luck. If not him, I probably would have gone for Ray, only because he has such a high chance of staying sane, right? His sanity is going to be so strong, and as we all know, there's definitely insanity going on. But let's bet on Lady Luck. I don't think she's going to let us down. Yeah, I say that now, and of course I've cursed us, but let's just bet on Lady Luck. Let's see what happens. So we have our people right here, and we're going to give them all, remember, sanity tokens, these little brown ones. Where are they? Here we go. And what you do is you just get your little thing out, and then they all start, except for Doggo, with 2 sanity. So we'll just stick 2 sanity on all of them, and as time goes by, that will probably get whittled away. They also come with little shields and heartbeats, and this is their resistance, and this their life points. So we also need to put some tokens on here. You each get 3 hearts, 3 hearts. Oh, they're all the same for hearts. Interesting. And 3 hearts. Okay, With that, I think we're ready to head down to the boiler room. A seasoned sailor on the Endurance, Peter recognizes only one authority, that of Captain Shackleton. He has a reputation for being taciturn and reserved, but he has been known to enter fits of anger that everyone remembers. The other sailors have a habit of saying that Peter is passing Cape Horn when he begins screaming and hitting everything that moves. He's a magnificent sleigh dog, a purebred Alaskan Malamute. He's starting to show his age, but his aggressiveness means that the other dogs still respect him, despite his declining performance. He loves his musher and gets along well with the other crew members. However, he doesn't know the recent guests, such as the professor and his 2 assistants. A woman on board a ship is an ill omen, so imagine what could happen to whoever. A woman on board a ship is an ill omen, so imagine what could happen to whomever hosts 2. Mary is the assistant to the professor, but also the friend of Lise Stanford, a young journalist who wants to cover the Endurance's voyage. It's hard to be French on a British ship. René reminds himself of that each God-given day. First, there's the cooking, then that filthy habit that the other sailors have of chewing tobacco all day, not to mention the habit they have formed of grabbing the blue pom-pom on his hat. He can't stand it anymore. Insertion was successful. We have entered our receptacles and are ready to explore the Endurance. And remember, our starting location is the boiler room. And what you do is when you enter a new location is you turn over card A, and it's going to tell you some information about the locations you can explore. You are in a ship's boiler room. You hear no sound other than some creaking, probably the wood reacting to the cold. The air is cold, really cold, so much so that even having just arrived, your limbs are already numb. The area is small and very dark. You have no desire to stay here longer than you have to. To your left is an extinguished boiler from which hangs a mostly burnt body. To your right, a spiral staircase climbs upward and downward. It seems to be obstructed by huge blocks of ice. Okay, so we have 2 areas we can explore. Remember, the first one had the exclamation point, which means when you enter this location, you must have someone here. All right, this is the extinguished boiler, and it's super cold. So this makes me think we're going to probably want to turn this on. And there's a block of ice that's blocking the way. So I think what we're going to do, we're going to get our little token dudes, and we get to decide where they go. And let's send our strong man. Let's send the mountain man to investigate the blocks of ice. Maybe he can power his way through it. And I think I'm going to try and keep our dog, who is green, with Miss Mary because she's not a fighter and the dog is. So these 2 might be buddies. Sounds like, I don't know, I bet she could fix a boiler room, right? And our last guy, oh, he's our investigator. So let's send him, Lucky Pom-Pom Boy, Lucky Renee, to check out the boiler. We'll send Mary with Mountain Man, and we'll send Doggo. So we'll divide our people like this. Now, in a normal game, remember, only these 2 players would be able to look at this card, and only these 2 players would be able to look at this card. We're soloing it, so we get to look at everything. So let's just start here and move across. So what happens when we investigate the boiler? Uh-oh. You need to pull out the body, a macabre and difficult task as everything is frozen. The lower half is intact, and the man was wearing warm clothes stained with blood. What remains of the torso, arms, and head is unrecognizable. In the remains of his right hand, you find the cover of a book and burnt pages, of which only ashes remain. You see an open wound in his back at heart level. Okay, So +1 tentacle for each agent on this space. Here we get to that. Another ominous discovery, the boiler happens to be completely out of order. Yeah. The ambient temperature is so low that you won't be able to survive for long before the cold does its job. Okay. Whoa! You have 12 time units to complete your run. After that time elapses, you die of cold. Read the mission fail card. Wow! Okay, so we thought we had 30 time units, but because it is so cold, we're down to 12. So let's resolve the tentacles and the time unit deduction. So let's resolve the traumatizing event first. And we must perform a sanity test. You must get a number of successes at least equal to the value shown next to the tentacle. So we only need one success. And remember, we sent Doggo, right? And he is not affected by traumatizing events. Dude with his head blown off, not a problem for Doggo. So he isn't going to have to resolve anything, so that's good. But our Frenchie, however, is severely traumatized by this. So we're going to have him do a test. To do that, it's simple enough. You take his stat, which in this case is a sanity of 2, which means we're going to take 2 die. And all we need is a single star somewhere. Not a problem. Renee has seen far worse. He is not traumatized by this. All right, resolved. Next, oh no, we're gonna move the marker down to 12. Now this makes me think there's a way to fix the boiler, and maybe, hopefully, we can figure out what that is. The mission's gonna fail, but when we get reinserted, we'll know, okay, boiler room, first thing we have to do, and here's what we have to do to fix it. So, that's these guys, done. The stairwell, what's happening over here? The reinforced steel staircase is blocked by the ice. In fact, a massive ice drift occupies the entire right section of the room. You could probably manage to break the more brittle parts to go down to the lower deck, but the upper section is blocked for good. Okay, our only direction is down. Then on the bottom here, it shows 3 shields, the fight icon. To free the staircase, this is what we need to do. If you succeed, take item 24. Okay, so we now know what we have to do. How do these little shields work? So along the bottom of the board, we have these little icons here for shields. And this is the way you track your test. There's a bunch of different shields that you could possibly come across. Some of them have horrible evil skulls. Some are nice and blank, like this one. Some have a black heart. Some have a black shield, all right? Obviously, the blank shields are the easiest to deal with. And the simply put, you must succeed on a fight test 3 times, all right? So we're simply gonna stack up 3 blank shields here. 1, 2, 3. And it is a group effort. So as many characters that are at the location can roll their fight ability to reduce these shields, all right? And unless the card says otherwise, your progress is cumulative. So if we take off 1 shield, we can take another turn to try and attack it again. If we leave the location, however, any progress we've made toward these shields, I guess I should put them over here, would be lost, all right? So who's here? Mountain Man and Mary, they can both try and pound away at the ice. If they don't succeed, they can stay here. We can spend some time and we can try again another round, all right? We could also wait another round, send everybody in and have all 4 of us chip away at this ice. So now that we've opened the location and we've read all the cards, we have to decide what to do. And this is where time units come into play. There's a special exception to this game, and that says that when a traumatizing event appears, you must face the test without spending time units. Now that's abnormal, all right? Normally, you open the location, you read the cards. If you want to, what I think, interact with the cards, if you want to do anything that's on the card itself, it's gonna take time. What you're saying is we're gonna stay here and take some actions. All right? Our other option would be to just say, forget it, we don't wanna do any of this, we wanna move. That would take time because we're gonna move to a new location. But there was no time spent here because it was a traumatizing event. So they are not taking an action here. They're just gonna hang out. These guys, however, are gonna want to chip down the ice. So they're gonna say, hey, let's spend some time in the boiler room and try and get this staircase opened. So what does that look like? All right, well, first off, we gotta shuttle this bad boy down to 12 because our boiler is out. And we're going to spend some time to chip open the staircase. So we're gonna bop down one time unit. And that means everyone in the boiler room gets to take an action, okay? These two have nothing to do here in the boiler, right? At this point, they have no choice. So they're gonna spend their time unit simply moving over to the staircase because this is where we have to be eventually. Now they're not gonna be able to participate, all right? Because you only get one action. They're gonna take the move action. So I'm just gonna move them in. They're our backup. Mountain Man and Lady Mary, though, they're gonna go ahead and try and wallop this thing. Clearly, we're gonna start with Mountain Man Pete. He has got 3 mittens going, so he's going to flex his muscles here. I need a third one. And let's see how many successes he can get. 1, okay, well, he's not warmed up, it's very chilly. Let's only take off 1 shield. And where's Miss Mary? Yep, she is gonna step up next. She only has 1 as well. So she's gonna take a little dainty swing and she does no damage. All right, so that was not very successful. I think what we're gonna do is we really don't have a choice. We need to stay here. So we're gonna go ahead and spend 1 time unit, slide us down to 10, but now all 4 of them are gonna get to take a whack at this. And just to make life easy, I'm gonna count up 3, 4, Doggo has 3. Oh my gosh, we're through. Okay, so 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 9 fists here. I mean, really, if we can't fix this, then we're in trouble. So let's go ahead. We need 2 successes. Sort of unlucky. Okay, fine. With all of us there pounding away, we manage to unblock the door, and it says, if you succeed, haha if, take item 24. All right, so we finally get through. It takes a lot of time, but it's our first run and we're gonna fail anyway. What do we find? What are we rewarded with? Oh, it's a new piece of the map, coolio. So that staircase opens up these 2 areas. Interesting. The captain's cabin and the lounge are now places we can go. Ooh. So we've explored the boiler room. There's nothing else to do here. At this point, we need to change locations. And unfortunately, that was going to cost us time. And this is something that just a homebrew rule that we came up with. Normally, when you want to change locations, you roll this time unit dice, and whatever number comes up, that's how much time it takes you to move locations. Sometimes it's 2, sometimes it's 1, sometimes it's a 3. And for some reason, I don't know why, this dice makes us really mad. I don't know what it is about this, but we end up rolling just a bunch of 3s and running out of time almost immediately. And everyone, there's something about this dice that triggers us. I guess it's because everything else feels so logical and makes sense, and this is so arbitrary. Nobody ever wants to roll it and a fight breaks out. So we just homebrewed it to say, so normally the dice has 4 2s, 1 1, and 1 3. So our homebrew is that it always takes 2 units to move to a new location. It's just the average that it always takes, and this way you don't get stuck rolling 3 3s and your run is over And you're like, oh, I didn't even get to do anything. So that's just something we do. We take out the time dice and it always costs 2 to move. I think though, because I'm playing solo and I really want to show you guys a lot of this game without it being like so repetitive that you all leave me, I think I'm just going to say that moving between location only costs 1 time unit. This is going to make the game much easier. We're going to explore things much more thoroughly, and we're going to get to the resolution a lot faster. So please note, I am changing this rule, and if that really triggers you, I apologize, but I'm doing it so that we can get the most fun out of this playthrough without having to play it through for the next 6 months. I just think you all would get very bored with that. So that being said, let's just for the first turn roll it. Yes, it would cost us 3 time units to move, which would infuriate me, and we're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to say it only costs us 1 time unit. So where are we going? Well, not going to lie, we got to get this boiler room online, right? So to fix it, I don't think the answer is going to be in the dining room. The kennel, ooh, I really want to go there, but I don't think we're there yet. The kitchen might have something useful, but I'm really drawn toward the captain's cabin. I feel like that's going to have some good info for us. And maybe a toolbox. I don't see anywhere that looks like they would have a toolbox. But let's say captain's cabin. Let's say captain's cabin. So let's, for our first run through, since we're running blind, we don't know where we're going. The lounge. The kennel? Captain's cabin. Let's go to the head of the ship. So let's move here. We spent our time unit. We're going to close this location, as we'll probably have to come back here, right? Because we need to restart the boiler and we can't get upstairs, right? Is that what it says? Yeah. The upper section's blocked. So there's more of the map that we need to uncover here. So we'll be back, boiler room. We'll be back. But we decided to go to the captain's cabin. Ooh, which way is it here? Captain's, kennel, kitchen, lounge. Here, captain's cabin. We gotcha. A, B, C, D. Okay. Interesting, interesting. So we come in here. What do we find? Small but comfortable and well arranged, this room is no doubt the captain's cabin. It's less cold in here than in the rest of the ship, and everything is still in good shape. The smell of stale tobacco floats in the air. Okay, a desk and stool standing along the left wall. 2 beds occupy the middle of the room. An open nightstand occupies the right side of the room. Okay, so where are we going to send our people? Well, I feel like Miss Mary needs to go take a look at this desk, right? The beds, there's books everywhere. So let's just spread everyone out. Remember, the only one who can't read is Doggo, so we'll just randomly put Mountain Man here, Frenchie here, and Doggo's going to stay with Mountain Man because that's his boy. Okay, so we've entered the location. We've assigned our little people. Now everyone gets to look at their cards. So Mary, at the captain's desk, finds, amid the maps, navigation tools, and books on navigation, you find the Endurance's logbook. You flip to the most recent entry to try to determine what could have happened. Yes, what happened? Item 7, the logbook. What do you find, Mary? Oh, and it's funny handwriting. All right, October 17th. We've reached the coordinates given to us by the professor. The 18th, the monolith is in sight. The professor was right. The 20th, the ice is going to surround us. I've made the decision to stay here all winter. Oh, 22nd, there are shadows under the ice. I've forbidden fishing. The crew is getting tense. The dogs are howling endlessly. The 24th, the professor refuses to come down onto the ice. He seems terrified. The 26th, the boiler room is showing signs of weakness. I'll have to get busy fixing it, as James seems incapable of doing so. Oh, who's James? Interesting. All right, well, not a lot of info, but when we take an item, we get to keep it. So Mary is going to hold on to this. Not a lot there. Okay. All right. Captain's cabin. The two beds suggest the room was shared. Barely hidden under one of the beds is a metal part smeared with grease and wrapped in an oil-stained tarp. If James is on this space, he takes item 13. Ah, we didn't bring James with us. Okay, so broken boiler room. Probably need the mechanic for that. Now, when you redo your runs, you could take different people with you. So we could, when we do our second one, bring James with us and get item 13. Don't know what item 13 is because for some reason nobody else wants to touch it. So you don't get it. But the final one tells us the nightstand is empty, but after a detailed study of its surround structure, you find it holds a perfectly camouflaged secret compartment. There's no key. A clever mechanism allows it to open in a few seconds, but you'll have to figure out how it works. Ooh, interesting. So this is 2 shields. It requires book knowledge. Only 1 attempt can be made per agent per run. Each test is independent. If you succeed, take item 8. Ooh, interesting. Okay, so we misplayed this room big time. So in the notes section, what I need to make note of is that when we go to the captain's cabin, we want to send Mary to location C. We want, if we bring James, to send him to location B. Because right now, Frenchie is over here. He is going to attempt this book learning thing, right? That's going to take a time unit. And it's going to take a time unit for everyone to get here. So if he fails this, we're going to have to spend a second time unit to let Mary try it. And if we had put her here to begin, we wouldn't have to do that. So already we're kind of fine-tuning our next run. But let's let Frenchie give it a shot. You never know. He's got 2 book learning, and remember, he's super lucky, so he can't totally whiff this. Let's see what he can do. All right, Frenchie. Let's see if your luck holds here. Ah, only 1. And because of the way this is written, you can only attempt it once per run, and it's independent. So he doesn't take a shield off for everyone else. Instead, we spend 1 time unit for him trying. We're going to spend a second time unit. Oh, you guys can't see that. It's up here. We're now down to 7 to get everybody there, right? So, okay, let me explain this right since we're in the beginning. We were on 9. We want to interact with the card, right? We want to take this test. So that's going to cost us 1 time unit. So Frenchie does the test. The others take that time to move over here where there's something interesting, okay? Frenchie fails. So now we have to do a second time unit to let the other, well, not Doggo because he can't read, the other 2 take this test. Does that make sense? All right. I'm going to try and go slow with the time units now because this is kind of the trickiest part. Okay, so we're back here. Let's slide this back up. And Frenchie struck out. He can't go again. So let's bring in our big guns. Let's bring in Miss Mary. She has 3. She needs 2 successes on her own. She gets them. Good girl, Miss Mary. Good girl. We lose the shields. She gets to take item 8. Hopefully this is worth coming here for. I'm thinking it isn't. I'm thinking we need to do boiler room first and this later. But, whoa, hello. Oh, a revolver. Its owner must have been a greenhorn as the weapon is practically new. Okay, it's loaded with 6 bullets. So we're going to place 6 tokens on this card to represent the bullets. You can spend a bullet to get an extra in combat. You can only spend 1 bullet per time unit. Okay, so it's a 1 shot. You shoot it once per round. And right now, Mary is holding this. Okay, Mary. Not worth it. Definitely not worth it. We did not need to go here first. So we're gonna, let's remember that for next time. Because while it got us the revolver, that boiler room is still ice cold. Okay. All right. Bad call on my part. That's okay. That's what the first run through is for. So, if what we're looking for is not in the captain's cabin, where is it? The lounge? Where do you think fixing the boiler would be? Okay, why not? Okay, so let's spend one-time unit. Just remember, I home ruled that because I'm not rolling the dice. If we roll the dice, we would get another 3 and this run would be over. This is why I hate this dice. Just don't use it. It's rage inducing. Because that would be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That would be the end of our run. So we would have failed the mission and we would be resetting after exploring one location. I know, right? Isn't that awful? It's awful. So instead, we're just going to say no, thank you, and we're going to head to the lounge. Oh, this looks very, very cold, and I don't see anything that looks like a toolbox. Oh, darn it. Okay, let's see. Spared of the chaos which reigns in the upper deck. Whoa, hello. We haven't been to the upper deck. All right, the upper deck is chaos. This lounge is decorated with taste despite being very cramped, as it is cluttered with many pieces of furniture and knickknacks. To the left, a large painting catches your eye. Further heavy sofas with comfortable cushions are available to you, but this might not be the best time to rest. Not far away from the sofas, a low table still bears the traces of an evening of drinking. On the right wall, many yellowed photographs are hanging. So we're just looking at pictures? Is that the deal? Okay. So where do we want to go? No requirements. We have 4 people. And since we don't know what is what, let's send Mary to the pictures for sure. We'll send Renee. I feel like he would want a drink. The doggo wants to curl up on the sofas, and Mountain Man is going to check out this picture. Does that sound good? All right. Let's see what we find. Mountain Man, what do you see? Apparently, someone beat this painting so desperately that he destroyed the upper part of it. You will get nothing more out of it. Mental note. Card B, unimportant. Doggo. By moving one of the sofas, you find a crumpled bit of paper. Oh, the puppy is playing. It must be covered in bacon grease or something, and that's why he found it. Good job, Doggo. What'd you find us? Let's see. You found, well, he can't read this, but I like to think maybe he runs it back to Mountain Man. The professor is starting to crack. Please come to the kennel quickly. Ah, that's ironic. Doggo got the kennel card. So we know we have to go to the kennel. Now we don't have to come back here. Remember, we can be judicious next round and just go straight to the kennel. Let's see. Oh yeah, Renee gets a drink. A number of people have obviously celebrated something here. The cigarette butts, empty glasses, and open bottles of cognac are proof of that. Rather strange, given the extent of the damage to the ship. Oh, that is interesting. Why? Well, maybe they needed to drink away their sorrows. Frenchie picks up item 22. A key. Okay, so we do have to come back here to pick up the key. Good job, Frenchie. And finally, Miss Mary is gazing at the pictures. Amidst a dozen photographs, one in particular catches your attention. It depicts the 11 members of the expedition. It must have been taken at the time of departure, as everyone looks happy to be underway. Oh. Now, the one thing I have learned is that pictures are important in this game. They're not in here just for giggles. So let's take a moment and look at this. There are 11 of them. So we know 6 of them, right? Okay, so we know Doggo. We know Mary. There's Frenchie with his pom-pom. So there's another woman. Interesting. There's another woman. So that's the redhead who we didn't take with us. I'm assuming Mountain Man has a beard and a hat. So this must be Mountain Man. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And one of those must be the mechanic. But there are a couple of people we don't know. We don't know little curly head kid. I'm assuming that's Captain. Interesting. Interesting, interesting. Okay, okay. So there they are. So let's think about this room. We don't have to spend any time here. This is unusual. There's no events or skill checks. There's nowhere to interact with these cards. We just kind of pick stuff up and leave. Again, except for that key, we got to make a note that we had picked up a key here. I think this was another waste of time. Man, going to that map was a red herring. We should not have done that. All right. I guess lesson learned there, right? Okay, so I'll make a note because our priority is that gosh darn boiler room, and the captain's cabin and the lounge, not the answer. So we did get a clue to go to the kennel, but I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't think the kennel's the answer, so let's spend a time unit and get out of here. And let's head, not to the kennel, I think that's furthering the mystery. Let's head to the dining room, the one right next to the boiler. Maybe that's where we were supposed to go. Let's find out. Let's find out what's happening here. You enter the dining room. The room is in a sad state. It is lit by small oil lamps, which still allow for large areas of shadow. You can see signs of a struggle, a real mess. To the left, a broken chair and many papers lie on the ground. In the middle, the body of a woman is hanging from a large fan, which spins slowly. You also see a table covered with the remnants of a meal. Finally, to the right, a piece of low furniture is flipped over. Okay, well, if there's paper, there's Mary. Furniture flipped over. Let's send Mountain Man just in case we have to lift it, I suppose. Okay, so here, do we game the system? I feel like Doggo would go to the food, right? Now, I'm going to leave Renee here. The problem is, I'm thinking there might be a sanity loss with her, and if so, I think I want to send Doggo because he can't lose sanity. Because the last one, right, the trauma of the dude. So let's do this. Let's do this. First run, we're here to make mistakes. Let's see if we gamed the system. All right, Mary, what's happening over here? Everything is broken, stomped on, or destroyed. There's nothing important here other than a single sheet of paper, which is still readable. Oh, more of this handwriting. I heard the captain and the professor in the hall talking about the monolith. They ended up having an argument, and I heard the professor threaten to kill him. The ice is everywhere. The boiler has broken down. The captain wanted to have it repaired. I know who killed him. The book, where is the book? I'm next, if the cold doesn't kill me first. Lord, forgive me. Oh my gosh. I know who killed him. The captain? And the book. Where is the book? This must be her. This must be the hanging woman. All right. More clues. Okay, Doggo, what do you find? Yep, we called it right. The frozen body of the young woman doesn't hide her purplish skin and her swollen tongue, which looks like a large slug. You take a few minutes to cut her down, as no one deserves such a death. The fan no longer works, and the icy wind coming through the portholes makes the unfortunate woman's body spin. All right, sanity check. Yeah, but no, we have Doggo. Let me double check. There's no restrictions here. You can carry only one item. You cannot pick locks. You cannot read. All right. Nope. I guess he somehow gets her down. I'm not sure, but no sanity loss. The other interesting thing is we don't have to go here, right? There's no reason to revisit this spot up close. So on our next run, we don't have to come over and look at her hanging body. We can just bypass it. All right. Oh, I mixed up my markers. Just kidding. Green is dog. I wanted to send dog here. Great. 10 meals have been served, large servings of grilled fish, but no plate has been touched. Everything is frozen, which keeps it all from emanating a scent of decay. Nothing here, no reason to go here. All right, Mountain Man, tell me you found something. No! The piece of furniture is empty and its door is broken in half. A large trail of blood is leading to the kennel. Human blood, no doubt, and in large quantities. The individual who lost all that blood could not have survived. Okay, another clue to the kennel. Gosh darn it. All right, well, let's make a note here. There's no reason to visit this place again, is there? The dining room was a true red herring. Item 1 doesn't really tell us anything except that there's a book. There's a book, but that doesn't tell us anything. We don't need to look at her, and these are all red herrings. So on run 2, we're not coming back to the dining room. Man, I am making all the wrong calls. Okay, so is it the kennel? I guess it is. So we didn't interact with this room. We don't have to spend any time units. We just pop in, look around, and get the heck out. Okay. I get it. You want me to go to the kennel? Fine. I wanted to go to the kennel too on my first one. So let's spend a time unit and head into the kennel and see what we can find. All right, kennel. Oh, hey, we have that. Remember, that was one of the things on our doggo. It specifically said, take 1 green token. Okay. What do we see in here aside from a lot of blood? The kennel is filled with the deathly howls of a dozen dogs. They're still alive. The dogs are still alive. Okay. A diffuse scent of blood floats in the room. The atmosphere is horrible. You have no intention of staying here longer than you have to. On the left wall, a greenish streak catches your attention. On the ground, a hunting rifle lies in a puddle of blood. In a recess, the wild eyes and sharp fangs of the dogs. Relieve you of any desire to deal with them. You'd have to be mad, or maybe a dog, to get any closer. Let's do it. Okay, doggo, let's go. All right, he's gonna go there. He has the green token. So the way these little tokens work, on the iconography chart. Okay, clearly I have to learn how to say that word. Simply says if you ever come across a card on the back with a token, your team needs to own this token to even flip this card at all. Your team needs to own it, okay? So it's not like it's a specific person who has to have it, okay? So we've got it. We've got doggo. We've got green token. We're going there. So doggo's gonna go here. We have a gun on the ground. Now Mary already has a gun. So I feel like she doesn't need another. You can exchange items. You just have to be on the same square, that sort of stuff. And there's weird green stuff on the wall. This, I'm afraid, might be a sanity check. Not gonna lie. So who has our highest willpower? That's Renee. All right, Frenchie, you're gonna go over here. And we're gonna send Mountain Man here. Mary, where are you gonna go, girl? Let's send her, I don't know if I want to send her to the dogs, because what if they attack or something? She has to go somewhere. Risk her sanity, deal with a gun. We'll put her with gun. We'll put her and Mountain Man together. All right, green stuff on the wall. I called it. Darn it. The liquid covering the wall is slightly fluorescent, hasn't frozen, and doesn't seem to come from any known creature. It sticks to your skin and gives you the sensation of entering your body, causing chills and retching. 2 successes for each agent on this space. All right, Renee, sorry, my dude. He has a sanity of 2. Oh, that's not good. Let's see what he can do here. Let's see if he can survive this. Ooh, he only got 1. Okay, so what does that mean? He finally failed it. Okay. We lose 1 of our sanity tokens. So remember, everybody started with 2. Renee looks at this green slime and it gets to him. Okay. Read item 2 and read it secretly. Oh, what do we get in secret? Do not show or read this item to the other players. Well, can't really do that. And there's this cool little symbol. If you ever come across an item that has this symbol, it simply means that when the time loop resets, this item stays with you. Okay, so you don't have to come back and re-find it. You'll always have it. You will never forget the supernatural scent of this green ooze. It creeps into the deepest recess of your beings. You are now inexplicably attracted to anything that is green, moist, and sponge-like. Secretly keep this card for your future adventures. So Renee will always want this green stuff, okay? And if we're gonna play this true to form, what I'm gonna say is in my notes section, I will note that this happens, so we're probably not gonna go back here. Item 2, well, I guess only one agent can take it. Okay. The blood, something tells you that you'll soon need this weapon. Yeah, that was an easy get. We have a old shotgun with 2 shots. Since Mary has the little handgun, we'll give it to Mountain Man. Ooh, we're gonna need to fight in Doggo. Let's see what he finds. Okay, your status as alpha male commands respect. Yes, the dogs shrink back to the rear of their lair and allow you to study the area. The remains of an almost completely devoured man litter the ground. He's the source of all that blood. The few parts left intact are covered with a greenish, slightly fluorescent substance. Okay, thinking there might be a body count involved in this game is what I'm beginning to think. Because if we hadn't gone here, if this location was locked, we wouldn't have known about this corpse. So on the corpse-o-meter, we have the 6 survivors we could have picked from. There was the burnt out dude in the boiler room, the hung woman, and now the devoured dog dude. So that's 9. So we're only missing 2 bodies. Is it worth going here again? No, unless we need to pop in to take an item, and we didn't spend any time here. So this might be a quick in and out. So how do we fix this boiler room? This is very bizarre. Is our only hope bringing James? If we don't have James, then the run is killed? Well, we have one more place, the kitchen. Let's see what we find. So we only have 1 location left. And that's the kitchen. Spend our time unit and see what we find.